So here's my presentation aid. It's a picture of Taylor Swift I'm doing my speech over. Yeah. Have you ever heard the phrase shake it off when you've fallen down during a sport when you were little, or when you've experienced something that's kind of trivial emotionally and somebody's like, ah, shake it off, it'll be fine. Well, I'm here to tell you about the woman who famously put the words to music. Taylor Swift is a multi-million-dollar recording artist, inspiring billions of fans with her music while simultaneously standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. The reason that I chose to do Taylor Swift for my tribute speech is that she's been in my life since I was around 7 or 8 years old. I go to usually about 15 to 20 concerts a year. It's a really big part of who I am. And my first concert ever actually was a Taylor Swift concert. She opened up for Keith Urban. And it's one of my favorite memories with my mom, as well as just one of my favorite memories in general. It just kind of kickstarted that passion that I had, so I owe a lot of that to her. She's also just every step of the way since I've been old enough to really remember having any issues, has really helped me out with any personal image issues that I had. And then later on in my life when I grew up and had issues with family or relationships with boyfriends and things like that. Another reason why I really felt as if I should do my tribute speech over Taylor Swift is that she is such a big part of my life. And I feel that her side of the story from someone who loves her and really knows the ins and outs of things that she's been through and things like that should be explained rather than just the image that she had in the media. Taylor's devotion to her fans and to standing up for what she believes in makes her one of the most powerful women in the industry and alive today. To start off, when Taylor was first starting out, and especially in the country music scene, she had such a perfect image of herself. The image that she presented to others was that of a perfect role model. She never really spoke up for anything that bothered her. She just put out her music, went on tour, and that was all. And she only let the public into her dating life, which was kind of unavoidable at that age and time. According to pop music journalist Sarah Barnes, quote, Swift has had a plethora of famous exes, end quote. But her dating life is that of someone who's 20. It's very average. Actually, she has less partners on average, and just statistically, I've read in a couple of magazines. The media has crucified her for using her experience to make art and things like that. That's what most artists do. All artists do that. They take their personal experiences and use it to make art. But it's very evident in magazine covers and things like that. If you've ever seen a tabloid, especially a couple of years ago, Taylor Swift's name on the front, it's always, oh my God, who's she dating? Oh my God, this and that, stuff like that. According to music journalist Melissa Leon of the Daily Beast, Swift said, quote, I think something that should be celebrated, a woman writing about her feelings in a confessional way, that's taking it and turning it and twisting it into something that is frankly a little sexist, end quote. Taylor has really never ever let anyone's opinion on her define how she expresses her emotion or stop her from expressing them. According to trusted newspaper for many Americans, USA Today's reporter Maeve McDermott, Swift stated, quote, I use it as a way to justify things that have happened to me, end quote. She does not tolerate any songwriting. Now, she does not tolerate any negativity surrounding her songwriting, showing how she promotes being authentically herself to her fans. According to music journalist Carmen Chappell, Swift told her, quote, find me a time when they say that about a male artist. Be careful, girl, he'll use his experience to, God forbid, make art, end quote, when discussing sexism in her industry and proving her worth as an artist. In standing up for herself, Swift began to stand up for things much larger than her music. Previously, Taylor did not speak up on politics for fear of losing her fan base, especially because of some of the views that she had. Didn't really line up with your stereotypical country music fan. She really was scared that would eliminate a lot of fans that she had, and especially because her fans were younger, and she was scared their parents would be uncomfortable with that. Many do not understand why it's even a big deal for Swift to even be involved in politics, but according to Sabrina Trueheart, a journalist for accredited Fairfield University newspaper The Mirror, explains, quote, why is it such a big deal for Swift to finally voice her political opinions? It is because whether we like it or not, celebrities play a large role in our lives as young people. Every time we open our social media accounts, we find more reasons to worship today's pop stars, end quote. I think that quote really justifies why it's a big deal for someone with a platform as large as Taylor. She has over 130 million Instagram followers to be involved in politics. Recently, she has become immensely involved in politics. She did lots of research before she spoke out, which is something that I really respected, especially as a PR major. You have to have that factual before you speak out about anything. She uses her personal experience to advocate for candidates. For example, Marsha Blackburn, who ran for the Tennessee Senate, Taylor spoke out advocating against her because she did not agree. She was trying to revoke an act that protected women in Tennessee against stalking, which is something that Taylor has experienced personally. From the credited newspaper, the National Post explained this in 2019 by saying, quote, Swift made her political statement very personal and using very specific language which goes in tandem with the personal songs that she's made her brand, end quote. This really kind of sums up my entire speech. She's begun to speak out on these matters for one group of people, her fans. Since the beginning of her career, Taylor has gone above and beyond for her fans. She has had these secret sessions that she does. This process, described by Katie Collins, says, quote, she actively seeks them out, going as far as to turn micro interactions into real life encounters that they couldn't have imagined in their wildest dreams, end quote. Now, Taylor has begun to go above and beyond for her fans, other than just inviting them back to stage to shows to meet them. She has actually begun to donate money to fans who are extremely struggling in this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. Music journalist Glenn Rowley reported on this, saying, quote, several Swifties took to social media to share that the superstar has personally sent them stimulus checks to get them through the crisis, end quote. She doesn't take her fame lightly and uses her wealth and prominence to promote kindness and doing things for those less fortunate than yourself. So the next time you walk into a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls and you hear Shake It Off playing over the speakers, I hope that you think of Taylor Swift in a wholly different light.